Hi there, some sports fans. My name's Morgan. I run the Nightmare Stable. I also run the Bargain Bred Racing Series. For those of you guys who have been around the sim for a while, you've heard of the series, I'm sure. If you haven't, come check us out. If you're new, you can come check us out. The Bargain Bred Racing Series is a series of restricted races. We had 70 stakes races this year, for instance, from March all the way through till our championship here, December 3rd. We have probably that many more in maidens and allowance races that are restricted to bargain breds. A bargain bred for us is a scratch bred runner bred for 120 points or less. And there's some rules and things that we got to go through the series. Mike will give a discount sometimes late in the year, and those discounted sire shares do not count for the series. So there's a couple little rules and things that we go through. Come check us out, bargainbred.com. On the website, there is a link you can come to About Us, and that'll go over to our message board. Our message board is also down here at the bottom where you can go to nominate runners. And the message board's where we'll post things like our nomination threads where you can come and say, hey, I want to enter this horse in that race. The schedule's up here. It's a good group of guys that we have in the series. They'll answer questions if I'm not around. You can pop on the message board. You can catch me on the regular sim message board and ask me questions about the series. Be happy to help you out there. But we're going to talk about the Bargain Bowl. This is Bargain Bowl 12 coming up. 12 years, 12 long years. And we're going strong, and we're going to keep on going. In the early days, we didn't have as many stakes races as we do now at the Bargain Bowl. We've got 15 races now as part of our Bargain Bowl here, Bargain Bowl 12. In this series here, this little video here, I'm just going to go through the bottom three races there. The Bargain Distance Challenge, that's our marathon. The Meadow Star, which is our juvenile dirt filly. And our misallocation race, which is our juvenile turf filly. And so the first race we're going to look at here as we preview the Bargain Bowl is going to be the misallocation. Now, the misallocation is named after a real-life bargain runner, misallocation. Now, back in the early days, we used to only have one stakes race for 2-year-olds. And it was always open companies, so the fillies were taking on the colts. Back in 2010, we extended out the juvenile races. There were now 3 stakes races for juveniles. And in that first inaugural year, it was misallocation, the filly that came on and just spanked all the juveniles on the turf that fall/winter. She took on all comers, beat the boys, won the Sanford Park by a length and a half, won the Winchester by almost 3, won the Class Act Juvenile at the Bargain Bowl that year by almost 3. As a 3-year-old, she came out and won the 100 guineas against boys again. Later that summer, took on olders in the Bargain Princess and took on older females and beat them. She came back for the Bargain Bowl as a 3-year-old in the Cafe Mile, and she ran a really solid second, only lost by half a length. As a 4-year-old, she'd win the Salinas Mile by 3 lengths, dominating the boys again. Later that year, she would go over to the dirt and try that, and she was pretty successful there. Ran second in a sprint stakes. She won the Gumball Mile again, beating boys. Nice 107 speed figure. And then she went on for her 3rd Bargain Bowl appearance in the Cemetery Winter Distaff and took that one. So 2 Bargain Bowl wins, pretty big. She was an excellent 2-year-old, so we honor her by naming the Bargain Bowl Juvenile Turf Race after misallocation. The fastest race in the misallocation, we've only had 3 previous races. It was back in 2014, and Oxand Cart went gate to wire, earning a 95 speed figure. That's been our fastest 2-year-old filly over on the turf so far, so that's what this group's going to be aiming for. Now, there's 2 races that lead up to the Bargain Bowl. The Starinsky's the first one. It's at 6 furlongs. It's in September. We had 5 runners this year. National Stock sat back, pounced on them, won by a length. Sorry, guys, if I mispronounce horse names. I'm doing my best here. Hawaki, she set the pace here, held on pretty well, finished second, just held sway over time to talk at the end. Took a photo to separate those two. It was pretty darn close. Moxie to Sprint was 4th. Now, the next race in the series, we stretch out now. We go over a mile in the Vandergrift Park. And again, National Stock was on point. That extra distance didn't hurt her a bit. She sat in second early and extended the lead 1 by 2 lengths. Pretty impressive run for her. Time to Talk turned the tables on Hawaii. Hawaii set the pace again. Had a big early lead there by 3 1/4 lengths there at the half-mile pole, but couldn't make that stand up. Time to Talk inched by her late. Another really close finish between these two. So it's been really interesting watching those two kind of go head-to-head. Very, very similar runners. Skip to Jive here was rounded out the top 4. So this is our juvenile turf filly division here, showing the 2 races so far. We haven't gone to the misallocation. If you'll notice, the regular stakes races are worth 10 points to first, 6 points to second, 4 points to third, 2 points to fourth, 1 point to fifth. When you get to the bargain bowl, the misallocation, the points are higher, the stakes are higher, just more meaning to that race. Depending on how each of our runners finish in the division, they're going to earn points. National Stock with her 2 wins has 20 points in the division. Hawaii and Time to Talk running second and third respectively in the races, each have 10 points. National Stock's pretty much going to have to not hit the board at all for Hawaii and Time to Talk to have a chance to catch her for the Juvenile Turf Filly Award. We call our year-end rewards the Bargy Awards, and they're all awarded based on points and divisions just like this. Ever since we've been giving those away here for the last several years, I guess we probably are 7 or 8 years into our Bargy Awards. It's always been a points thing to decide our end-of-year honors. And we always hand those awards out, so to speak, at the beginning of our next year, which is usually around the end of February, 1st of March, when we have what we call our Bargy Day. But anyway, into the division, National Stock on top, Hawaii and Time to Talk. You could have some newcomers that come to the division for the misallocation. We usually do have horses that don't compete in those first couple of stakes races that show up. But even though the speed figures don't just jump out at you, I bet you National Stock has a lot more in her than just that 70s. I would imagine they'll have a nice speed figure in the mid-80s here to win this thing. Let's talk about our dirt juvenile fillies. And this one we name after the real-life runner Meadow Star. In 1990, she had an absolutely phenomenal juvenile season. She had 4 Grade 1 wins, a Grade 3 and a Grade 2 added to all that. Just a great 2-year-old season. She's from modest breeding. Meadow Star is by Meadow Lake, although the bottom side of the pedigree is pretty darn solid within reality. But she fits the series, kind of fits the spirit of the series, plus was an awesome juvenile, so we're going to name the race after her. The fastest Meadow Star run was also in New Zealand. New Zealand was a big day for speed figures anyway for these stakes. A lot of records fell in New Zealand in 2014, and Sweet Smart Saint sat just off the pace, pressed it a little bit, and went on to win with a 90 speed figure, and that's our Meadow Star stakes record. That's what these girls are shooting for, is 90. If you'll notice, all 4 of those top 4 runners, Mahia Trust, Light in the Flesh, She in the Coop, all stakes winners. Most of them earn more than 250 in a year, so these juvenile races tend to produce some pretty darn good runners. The first race on the dirt division for our juvenile fillies is the Della Street, and rest is history. Got started with a bang. At 6-1, she just set the pace and held on by half a length over PT's Inbred Sadie, who was the favorite at 2-1. And Naples, who stalked that pace, faded a little in the stretch to finish third. Ghost Hopper rounded out that top 4 there. Then the ladies on the dirt moved out to 8 furlongs in the Fizzy Miss. Naples turned the tables on Rest is History. She set the pace here, and Rest is History sat just off of it. And that proved to be the difference as Naples went on to win by 1.5 lengths over Onaby. Onaby closed well to get to within 1.5 lengths and just got by Rest is History late in deep stretch there to get the second place nod over third place Rest is History. Gutted Out Bimbo, a solid name, ran a solid 4th there to round out our top 4. Now this division here, I'm going to show you a colt race, the Ginger Ale. The Ginger Ale is run at the same time as the Fizzy Miss. It's just the colt side of it. And the only reason I'm showing you the race is because Ghost Hopper, the 2-year-old filly, beat the boys over in the Ginger Ale. And she earned an 85 speed figure. Pretty strong there. She won by a length over Cloud Country, who is the top juvenile colt. She had a stablemate that ran in the Fizzy Miss, and they had similar running styles, so the trainer opted to put her over against the boys, and she really ran well. But the division is still, right now, it's kind of up in the air a little bit. Naples and Resta's History are tied at the top of the division with 14 points each. Onaby and PT Sadie each have 6 points, so they're not out of it. They still have a shot there. Ghost Hopper not earning points in the Fizzy Miss. She's really probably out for division honors, but she's going to be tough in this race. This race looks really solid. I think you got 5 really good runners. One of those other runners gutted out Bimbo, Crew Meeting maybe, Miss Blue Jay. One of those guys, maybe even one that hasn't raced yet in the series, is probably going to show up and run pretty well. It's going to be a highly contested. This Meadow Star looks to be a lot of fun this year. The next race we're going to talk about is the Bargain Distance Challenge. It's our marathon. And what we're looking at here is last year's Bargain Distance Challenge, where Clock to Stop as a 3-year-old earned a 105 speed figure, winning by 2.5 lengths in South Africa. That is the record for this race in the Bargain Bowl. This has been run 6 times. 3 fillies have won, 3 colts have won. So we'll get to see who takes the lead, so to speak, this year. Clock to Stop, being a 3-year-old last year, obviously is going to be a big player in this year's division. Now with the older horses in these divisions, one of the things that happens is that we have 3 stakes races and then the Bargain Bowl. So each division is going to have 4 races total that'll decide the seasonal honors for that particular division. And in this division, the Stayer is the first race of the year, and it's in May at 1.5 miles and 15 non-sky. The 5-year-old filly closed on down and won by 2 3/4 over Clock to Stop. Solid speed figures, 107 for 15 non-sky there. And it was a long way back to third, so it was really just these two battling it out. The next race in this dirt long division is the Hinterland, and it takes place in September. Clock to Stop got back on top here. Closed from 12 lengths back off of a solid pace set by Unhappy Together, the filly. And Clock to Stop would win by 2.5 over Sandal Keep, who also closed pretty well to get in there. Unhappy Together held around for third. 15 on Sky, though, closing from back, just couldn't get there to get onto the board, had to settle for fourth. The last race before the Bargain Bowl, anyway, is the Coco Shan. And the Coco Shan's in late October. Actually 1st of November, 5th of November this time around. Clock to Stop and 15 non-sky again put on a pretty good show. Clock to Stop taking the advantage though, 15 non-sky finishing second. Roan Sparkles, solid mare herself, finishing third there. So the dirt distance division, right now, Clock to Stop is up 26 points to 15 skies, 18 points. It's really a 2-horse division and a 2-horse race, so to speak. 15 non-sky is going to have to win, and Clock to Stop can't finish second. It's got to finish lower than second for 15 non-sky to have a chance here at division honors. So it's really Clock to Stop's division to lose, so to speak. The rest of them are just running for fun. You never know in this race. We're talking about Clock to Stop. You're talking about 15 non-sky. You could have one of those others jump up and beat them, and it could be decided by a second or third place finish. Always exciting. There'll always be newcomers at the Bargain Bowl. It's a ton of fun. So we've talked about the first 3 races. Stick with me here. I'm going to have a few more videos that cover the rest of the races for the Bargain Bowl. Again, if you kind of want to check out the series, head over to bargainbread.com. Check us out. It's a lot of fun. We'll have some races in December. We'll have some races in January and February, but we really won't kick off the 27th season until March. But there'll be plenty of time to get some 2-year-olds bred and run those in the series. You can even make some claims. Again, if you have questions, just let us know. See you in the next video.